But yeah, Mom, if you're watching this, we're just gonna pretend that this doesn't exist. Cool? I hope she's not watching this. I hope she read the title and was like, I'm just gonna let my kid do her thing and not interfere. I asked you guys what I should talk about in today's video, and one comment that I found and thought, yeah, that's something I want to talk about, was from Alex at A Patchwork Nerd. She said, book update, writing vlog, which I will be maybe posting next week. I'm going to be working on a writing vlog, and tips for writing believable romance. So that's what I'm going to focus on today, is writing romance. This is not an advice video. Please don't take what I'm saying as what you need to do to write romance or believable romance or good romance or whatever. I just wanted to chat about my experience, so that's all this video is. It is not tips, tricks, or advice, so if that's what you're looking for, you're in the wrong place. You know I'm a romance author, but here's the thing. I'm not sure I want to talk about this online, but I'm going to, because I want to be as appropriately transparent with you guys as I can, and so I figure, whatever. I have no real life romantic experience. So anyways, basically, yeah, I don't have real life experience. I'm not married. I don't have a significant other. I am a straight female who writes romance without any real life experience. And some people say write what you know, but you don't have to experience things to know about them. My biggest thing is that I love to read romance. So that's kind of where I learned how to write it. That's basically the biggest answer I will ever be able to give. I know how to write good romance because I've read good romance. At least I think I write good romance. In terms of believable, I mean, I think when we're talking fiction-wise, it's not always realistic, because sometimes realistic romance is boring. Like, security can be boring. I can say I love reading about maybe a little bit of problematic traits in a man. That doesn't mean that I want to experience that in real life. Hell no, I don't. But there's something attractive about it when you're reading it, when you know it's not real. I mean, I read about alien book boyfriends and demons and vampires. That doesn't mean I want to date any of those kinds of people. It's just fun to read about. Now, if Carden walked into my life today, I wouldn't say no, but that's beside the point. What I'm saying is, like, and a lot of people will disagree with me, and that's absolutely fine. I am absolutely okay with reading problematic romance and dark romance. I personally am at an age and a mindset where I can separate fiction from reality, and I know a lot of people will still say, yeah, but some readers are too young, or some readers can't separate that and read problematic romance and believe that to be okay. And that's absolutely valid and fine, and I agree. Some people can't, but I can, and so I enjoy reading it. I don't think that I've written it. I mean, again, some people will disagree, and that's fine. I think the key to writing good romance is that you feel it when you're writing. I always get super giddy when I am writing the beginning stages of a relationship, and those are always my favorite to write and my favorite to read. It's the leading up time. It's the will they, won't they, or the we know they're going to, it's just a matter of when. I don't want to say that, like, after they admit their feelings for each other or after they get together that it's boring, but I think it's definitely more exciting is the build up. And that's kind of funny to me because I also don't like slow burn, but I don't like insta love. I don't know. I feel like I guess it depends on the story, but I wouldn't say I'm a huge fan of either. And so it's super hard to kind of find that balance of how long are we gonna let it go on before they finally have that first kiss, or they finally sleep together, or they finally admit that they have some sort of feelings for one another. Or it can be completely from one side, where the one party is like, yeah, I like you, and the other party's like, nah man, never gonna happen. And the reader's like, it's gonna happen, we know it's gonna happen, it's just when are you finally going to surrender to this person? So I love those stories. But anyways, so writing believable romance. There's a difference between believable and realistic. Believable is like, yeah, I can see that happening, and you can say I see that happening in fiction and it can also be like, yeah, I can see that happening in fiction, but it would never happen in real life, which is fine. I'm totally cool with that. I don't think, like my book Twisted Fate, Aurora falls in love with Tristan, who is responsible for kidnapping her and like throwing her life upside down. Realistically, I don't think that would happen. And she even jokes a little bit about Stockholm Syndrome, which, I mean, some people won't find funny, they'll find it offensive, but in this day and age, everyone is going to be offended by something, so take your pick. But it's believable enough within the world that I've created that people ship it. And I ship it, which is important because I created it. And this goes on that whole, I write it and I read it, but I wouldn't allow myself to experience that in real life. So like, if I got kidnapped by someone, supernatural or otherwise, I mean, we're talking theoretically here, I would not respond how my character responds. I can separate those two. So I guess, I don't know, like I could talk for hours about different types of romance in terms of real life not being a reflection of what we read in fiction, or what some people read in fiction and what some people boycott in fiction. I don't know. I'm just a huge advocate of write the book you want to write and read and whatever. I mean, there's a market for literally everything. It might not be mainstream, but it exists. You just gotta look for it and you gotta target that audience with your books. I've read some pretty, I'll use the word interesting, dark romances. Not necessarily ones I've enjoyed, but it almost makes me feel better, and this is complete honesty, it makes me feel better writing what I'm writing, and it makes my writing feel tame compared to what some other people are writing. And that's no shade on them. I am happy to advocate for them and to be their cheerleader for writing what they want to write, and they obviously have an audience for it because they're successful writers. I guess I don't totally know the direction that this video took. I didn't script this because I wanted to allow myself to be able to just like speak freely, and I hope that you guys are okay with that. I hope that you accept what I've said as my opinion, and that's it. If you agree with me, that's totally cool, and same as if you disagree with me. Absolutely, that's totally fine. So basically, my whole thing about writing romance, I guess if you're looking for a explanation as to how I write romance, is I read a lot of it, and so that allows me to kind of know how to write experiences without having lived them. I mean, that could be said for people who write dark romances about girls who, I don't know, end up falling in love with like their stepfather or something. It's not that they've experienced that in real life so they can read it from their perspective or whatever. You're making shit up and it's fine. That's kind of it, I guess. If you want to write believable romance, I would say read a lot of romance, and absolutely, if you've experienced something in your life that's like super beautiful or romantic, if you want to include that in your book or write it in some sort of rendition, then absolutely, like, play on your strengths, and if you have experiences that will work for your characters, why the heck not use it, right? I just think that you gotta have fun with writing romance. You can't take it too seriously. I remember when I wrote my first sex scene, I put it off for so long, and I knew it had to happen because I was writing new adult, and they were in that point of their relationship where it was like, if it doesn't happen, I mean, it's okay, but I set it up for it to happen. And I was chatting with my critique partner that day, and I just kept putting it off, and finally she's like, just write it. So I did, and I mean, it took a lot of editing. I've written a few since then, especially for Twisted Desire, because Skylar is a lot more secure in her sexuality than Aurora was, and she has a lot more casual sex than Aurora does. I enjoy writing both the casual sex for fun and the romantic, like, deep connection type sex scenes. I think that's gonna be it for this video. If there's something else in this realm you guys want me to talk about, I would be happy to. Just let me know. I mean, or if you just want to chat about it, my DMs are always open. That's kind of my romance chat. I might do another one of these later if I pair together some coherent thoughts, and I hope you guys enjoyed listening to my little ramblings about writing romance. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel on your way out if you're new here. I post new writing related videos every Friday, and like I said, if there's something you would like me to talk about in my next video, whether it's related to romance or a totally different topic, feel free to leave me a comment down below or tweet me. All my social media information is going to be listed down below as always, including my author website, and on my author website you can do do a few different things. You can order signed copies of my books, Twisted Fate and Twisted Gift. Twisted Desire will go up once it releases in April. And you can also look into my editing services. I do manuscript critiques and proofreading and all that fun stuff, so be sure to check that out if you're a writer who is looking for some editing services. That's all I got for you guys today. I hope you have a lovely Friday, and I will see you next week. Bye!